Here we go. Man, this is your boy Styles here with WestCoastStyles.com. I've got my man Don Dub in the house. And then, man, we got two legends right here, man. It's such an honor to have these guys on, you know. I've had Kokane on before, and I've had Kool on before. Never together.
Yep.
And it looks like we lost Kokane again, but that's all right. We're just going to keep going until we get this damn thing right. We've got at least one of y'all in the house.
What's good, people?
Man, bro, thank you for joining us. How's life been, man? I mean, you know, how's everything been with you? You been good or what?
Everything's good. I had an event I put together July 24th of this year, and it worked out pretty good. I had Dana White as a sponsor.
From UFC?
Yeah, man. Dana White's a huge hip hop fan, classic hip hop.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
So he reached out to me and he wanted to get involved with the event. So I said, yeah, of course. So he became a sponsor, and you know, so he wants to do some more stuff with me down the line. We're trying to put together the Fresh Festival documentary and take it to either Netflix or Hulu. And me DMC, Dana White, and what's the comedian guy's name? He did the thing for Netflix, The Evolution of Hip Hop. He's down with it as well. And so we're gonna put that together. Yeah, something Russell. I know he's gonna kill me, but we're gonna put that together. And so DMC is mad excited about that. So we're gonna put that together very soon.
From Run DMC?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
The King of Rock. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Looks like we came back. Hold on 1 second. Just give me a minute and we'll let me add guest here. And all right.
There he is.
So that's dope, man. So you got Dana White involved. That's a bag right there.
Yeah, well, he gave me a bag for the event. So,
man, tell Dana White I want to holler at him, man. I need a few bags, you know.
Yeah, he's a cool dude, man. I had no idea he was a huge Fat Boy fan, but
okay.
Yeah, so he has like a shrine dedicated to
Stop it.
Now this bullshit. But,
he got a Fat Boy shrine.
Get candles and shit around there. Yeah, but he's a huge Fat Boys fan.
Can he tell you some of the songs?
Matter of fact, he played "Can You Feel It" at a prelim of one of his fights, and he was blasting it. Wow. And he showed me the video. He was like, "I'm playing "Can You Feel It," motherfucker." I'm like,
oh wow,
okay. But he's
one of my
cool,
favorites. Dude. One of my favorites, man. Can You Feel It? That song just brings out a certain emotion when you hear it. You know, it takes me back. It takes me back to a certain time in my life.
Yeah, you know? Yeah. I think I first heard it on the radio, sitting in the back of Bub's car, and I just kind of leaned my head back into the speaker and just kind of was vibing to it. Because Curtis Blow always told us the best way to hear one of your songs is not through a big speaker, but through a small speaker, through the radio. That's the best way you can feel it. He said, "You're through a big speaker, you're gonna always get used to hearing it at a concert." Yeah, the best way to hear it is that on a small speaker.
Wow. Yeah, you know, on a big speaker, you know, I've been in studios where I've heard a track, and I'm like, man, this thing's banging, and then you know you hear it in the car stereo, and you don't really hear that. That same effect.
There goes Kokane. He's back in the building.
Yeah.
For the time being.
Yeah.
Cokalicious.
Man, I've got these two legends in the house. Kokane from West Coast, Pomona. Then we've got Kool from the Fat Boys. We all know their track records. Kokane being the most featured artist in the world in the Guinness Book of Records. You know, and then we got Kool here, part of the legendary group that, man, you guys made history, you know. And I'm happy to see you guys together. But, you know, I mean, who reached out to who?
Coke, you want to tell it?
I think
Oh,
we just
man.
got him as a
Are
spectator.
you muted? Hey, he's muted. You got to unmute. Coco, hit the mic.
Oh yeah, he is on mute. There you go.
There you go.
Who reached out to who?
Oh, Kokane reached out to me. And that's not being egotistical or anything. I seen my
No.
DM. Yeah, I seen my DM, and I seen him left a message. And I was like, the cocaine, West Coast, West Coast cocaine. Like, so I reached back out there. I'm like, yo, you know how, social media nowadays, people just make up any kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I hit him back, and I'm like, yo, you the real cocaine? He was like, for sure, So he sent me the track. I was like, yo, this is dope,
Yeah.
This is dope, man. I mean, it fitted right into my lane. I didn't have to do none of that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to do none of that crap. So I'm like, yeah, I could do this. I didn't have to rap like I didn't have to trip over my vocals when I rapped and shit. So
has anybody ever tried to make you do that?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
They even wrote the rhymes for me. I'm like, man, I ain't doing that, man.
Wow. Fucking
next thing.
Is it a thing where the style itself is just something that you just know, like your lane, and you're just gonna stick to what you do best? You're not trying to appeal to the younger audience, or you're not worried about the evolution of cadences and rhyme schemes?
See, as far as cadence, I would think you think of cadence nowadays. You think of Nas still being relevant with his cadence, and Jay-Z still being relevant with his cadence. I'm not going to sound like a little Dirk or a little half dead, who the hell is out there. That's not going to happen. I'm not trying to appeal to an audience of a younger stature and just to say, hey, I'm still relevant. You can look on YouTube and look on Google to see I'm still relevant. I'm still living.
Right.
So and that's it. I don't have to do all that kind of stuff. So sometimes you got to stick with the girl you brought to the prom, old saying, and just stick with that. And there's nothing wrong with being who you are. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to hear Big Daddy Kane or Rakim sound like a new, you know what I'm saying? That just shouldn't sound right.
Right.
Exactly. And and to be honest, there's nothing wrong with your flow to begin with. Yeah,
I mean, if it's not broke, you don't have to fix it. And I mean, I'm not trying to be egotistical right now, but why do classic hip hop artists gotta have to adapt to something that they made relevant? You understand what I'm saying? Like, why do we have to cross over to your path, to the younger path, to say, hey, we're still here. Can we get down with you guys? Whereas if it wasn't for the guys from the past, you wouldn't be rapping. You know what I mean? So
let's circle back to Kokane for a minute. Kool Rock, how familiar were you with his music?
I was familiar with Kokane's music. I was familiar with Kokane's features. I know one song that he particularly did, the joint with the brother who just passed away not too long ago. I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea about me.
Badass.
Badass, yeah.
Yeah.
And I always like that joint. I always like the hook, the cameo hook and all that, and the way he flipped it. But I was familiar with Kokane. The name Kokane was surfacing around the industry, and and especially around the East Coast. So everybody knew who Kokane was. So it wasn't a mystery of who Kokane was.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's cool because he's a legend out here on the West. I wasn't sure what his stature was out there with y'all.
Oh yeah, I mean, you see the name Kokane. A lot of people gravitated to the name because, first of all, his name is Cocaine, so they're like, but he's not spelling it like that. But you got cats who gravitate to the name itself, and like, the boy Kokane is no joke. I'm like, well, how do you spell his name if you know it like that? And they'll spell it, and they're like, okay, so you know who Kokane is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You ain't just saying it like, because you think the name is spelled C-O-C. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I mean, we're in the industry, so we all know one another. It's a small circle A lot of people think it's a whole big circle, but it's a small party in the industry.
Yeah. You know, I don't know if you've ever heard this track, but if you've never heard it, please play it. It's called Dollars, Dank, and Drink that he does a hook on. And, man, that shit will just blow your mind, man. You know.
I heard of Dollars, Dank, and Drink.
Okay. Yeah, that I mean, even to this day, but it's 2021 now, and that came out.
Yeah.
That's short chop record, man. Yeah, that's
man. That's shit.
Listen, he got like damn near 2,000 songs.
Like 4,000. The features like 4,000.
Yeah, I gotta sit down and binge listen like you binge watch. I'm gonna have to binge listen. You know what I'm saying?
I think it was like 2018, 2019. He dropped 2 albums, independent. Just
right.
Yeah.
Go to my website, get my albums. I was like, he ain't slowing down.
Nah, he's still listen. I be seeing this guy. He puts some new songs every damn day. I'm like, dude, I ain't do a song since 2021.
Yeah.
That's the first song I did in years. And he's doing songs like crazy. You know,
we just dropped a video on my website with him and Spanky Loco today that just came out. So man, there you go. I mean, Kokane's just keeps turning them out.
He got the joint
quality stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He got the joint with Sugar Free coming out. That's gonna be banging. That's highly anticipated. You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna be crazy.
Are you a big Sugar Free fan?
I like Sugar Free. I always like because he had that kind of I don't give a shit kind of pimp kind of flow. But at the same time, he had he got lyrics. He got lyrics. You know. I saw one video he was banging on the table just rapping. I'm like, yeah, that's that back in the day kind of shit there. That's what we used to do.
Yeah.
You know,
on the tables at high school. Lunchtime. Boom, boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the shit we used to do. You know. Kokane, are you with us? Are you just gonna?
There you go.
Because I had a question for him. I don't know.
Around. There you go.
Okay. Man, Kokane, just going back to you and Kool just let me take it back. If you could get on any Fat Boy song, which one would you want to get on, you know?
I think his mic is muted.
Is his mic muted?
Nah, he open. Wait a minute, there you go.
Shit.
Yo, can you hear us?
You can, yeah.
Yeah, he can hear us, but we can't hear him.
Right. He might have to ghost ride the whip.
All right. Well, have you ever thought about what song he would fit on? Like, from one of your guys's? I mean.
Oh yeah, in jail.
In jail?
He would fit perfectly on that song.
Wow.
Yeah. He would fit perfectly.
We might just have to do a 2021 remix there. Man, and get him going and flowing right after that piano solo or right before it or during it,
I mean, right after my verse, it wouldn't be bad to have 3 verses on there back to back to back, you know what I'm saying? But he would fit perfectly on that song.
Yeah, wow. That's a good one. That's a good one right there.
Yeah.
Don, is there anything you wanted to ask Kool?
I gotta ask Kool, man. Did y'all think the Disorderly movie was gonna be like a cult classic like that, or was y'all just taking a gamble doing something fun? Because that shit, man, that shit we put a dent in the VHS tape on that joint, man. Brothers, man. Did y'all know it was gonna hit like that or what?
No, not at all. We thought Crush Groove would be a cult classic because it was like the third rap movie I think it was that ever came out. Wild Style, Beat Street, and Crush Groove. So we knew Crush Groove was going to be the movie that everybody was going to gravitate to because rap was still wasn't exploding as of yet. But once Crush Groove came out, rap just started to explode. But Disorderlies, we didn't even look at it as us being the first rappers to be featured in our own movies. Nothing like that. Till somebody kind of reminded us that at the premiere, I think it was MTV, somebody was doing an interview with us. And they said, you guys were the first rappers to have their own movies, to star in their own movie. And that's when it dawned on you, like, oh shit, like rappers come a long way. Like rappers are starring in their own movies. Yeah. But you know, to this day, it being a cult classic is just funny. It's crazy when you think about
The
it.
joint is hilarious. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The script was crazy. The story was wild. It was a dope movie, man. Like it was really some fly shit. Like for real.
I mean, people who don't know music and they find out who I am, like, oh, I just watched Disorderlies last night. You know, like, you know.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
The other thing was, what was the climax? What prompted the feature with the Beach Boys, man? What was the move? What was the goal with that record? I know that song was huge. It was part of the soundtrack of the movie. It was like one of the theme songs, but that was like a big record at the time. It was kind of unheralded. I mean, we had Deep Rec MC with the rock and roll with Aerosmith, but
Aerosmith, yeah.
The Beach Boys was kind of a different vibe.
Are you talking about Wipeout or?
Yeah, Wipeout.
Wipeout.
Yeah, Wipeout came upon because Beach Boys was in the ending of Disorderlies.
Right.
And our manager, you know, Run DMC and Russell Simmons and Charlie Stetler and the Fat Boys, their main goal was to get on MTV in heavy rotation. Right. And at that time, MTV was playing like minimal amount of rap music, rap videos. So what happened was he saw the success of Walk This Way, I'm quite sure, and he wanted us to get down with the Beach Boys. At first, we were like, you know, against it, like, you know, who the hell are the Beach Boys? But we really didn't know who they were. You know, we had no idea who they were, and we knew the song "Wipeout." You know, dan. So when they first brought it to us, we were like, "There's no, you know, we can't rap to that. It's like it's mad fast." So they said, "No, we're going to slow it down and put like a Miami kind of bass sound to it." So at that time, Luke was coming out with his whole Miami kind of bass sound, you know, the Planet Rock kind of thing. And so Buff and another engineer went into the studio. They slowed it down, and you know, we rapped to it, and you know, the song just took off. It just took off, and we just watched our audience grow and grow because the success of that song "Wipeout." So you know,
that was.
Audience turned a different color. You know what I'm saying? Put it like that. You know, but it's fun. We had a lot of fun. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Less police presence too.
You know, one thing that I loved about your group, and you know, is that you know, beatboxing just became such a thing afterwards. I saw it in movies afterwards.
Yeah.
At school, we were all doing it. I was doing it. You know, and the whole.
You know? I remember watching it in Lethal Weapon.
Yes.
When they were at the dinner table.
Yes.
And we were in the movie theater.
Yeah.
And watching Lethal Weapon and watching the movie, me and Buff and my brother, and we saw him started doing the beatbox and the sounds with his mouth. I was like, yo, you know, this is crazy. Everybody's doing this right now.
Wow. That's crazy when you can just have a moment like that you don't expect is coming. You know, you're just there and it just happens, and it's like, holy shit, you know?
It's an old shit moment, like, yo, you know.
Yeah.
We're big time, you know. So,
did you ever try your hand at beatboxing? Or
no, never. Never tried that shit. I couldn't do that stuff.
Wow.
Buff tried to teach it to me.
And he had his own style too. It wasn't like it didn't sound like Biz. It didn't sound like nobody before him. It was his own style of
beatboxing. Yeah. I mean, Biz and Doug and Ready Rock C from what's it? Dougie. I mean, my bad. Fresh Prince and Jazzy Jeff. They had a beatbox also, and none of them sounded nothing like Buff. Buff just had pure power. He didn't do any of the gadgets, none of that kind of stuff. You know, rest in peace to Biz Markie. You know, even he said he was different to Buff and Dougie, you know.
Right. Yeah. So man, how's it feel to kind of have this track bubbling up? I seen you at the video shoot of the video with the dude that ran through the joint where y'all was trying to record the video and Coca pushed you. How's that feel, man? I know you know kind of just been doing your own thing for quite some time, and you feel like you want to do something, you getting back in there, or what's up?
Yeah, after hearing the song and doing the video and all that stuff, I just kind of you know, got the vibe or whatever to get back in the studio. Matter of fact, DJ K Slade wanted me to do an 8-bar verse on his song he got coming out. And I think it's like 300 MCs he's up to now. But he wanted me to do an 8-bar verse.
Crazy.
Grandmaster Caz wanted me to do a verse. So I mean, it's kind of therapeutic because of what's been happening. What happened in the group as far as the members passing away. So
Right.
I'm gonna
takes the
refresh,
mind
guys, real quick because my sound is messing up.
Yeah, so a lot of the guys are they're not a lot of the guys. 2 members are no longer with us anymore. So it's kind of therapeutic just to keep their legacy going.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Speaking of therapy, man, you seemed like you had a health kick and kind of kicked into gear, and you lost a ton of weight.
Right.
Is that just you on your health tip, or you looking good, looking young? You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't really aged much. You know what I'm saying? So what is that attributed to?
It became a lifestyle after a while.
That's what's
just going to the gym, and I tell people all the time, you don't have to go to the gym to get a certain look. We're not going to look like a Ronnie Coleman, or Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime. But the thing is to get out there and just get the heart rate going. So that's what I try to preach to people.
That's what's up. So what's the next joint?
It's going in and out.
Yeah, you got a bunch of static too.
He got the mean face too.
Like, get my audio right.
Yeah, and not only that, but someone was texting me right now, and I'm just kind of like, I'm in an interview. Damn it, leave me alone.
Yeah, I put mine on do not disturb. Again, everybody gets denied a text when I'm on the joint. So whatever.
Yeah. That's dope. So tell us about Hush, the video. Because I know that's a Kokane promoting now. Yes.
Yeah, Hush is I think Kokane told me it was up to 64,000 views on YouTube as of right now. So we're gonna start a heavy promotional tour for it real soon, and getting out there once again and doing promotional shows here and there. So Hush is dope, man. I like the song. I like the concept. I like the hook. I played the song once for some kids, and they were singing the song all day because they love the hook. It's so catchy. Hush, little baby, don't say your word. This is real hip hop, and they would bleep out the words. But it's very catchy. It's very catchy. Kokane just did an excellent job with the hook, and I thank him for bringing me in and getting down with him on this particular song. A lot of people like it. I get no feedback.
No, it's a dope record. Rob Team did their thing, man. I saw Tretch there at the video shoot. Was that planned, or he was kind of just in Times Square and popped up on you?
I went to McDonald's and they were closed off at the top. You couldn't use the bathroom. So the guy, he recognized who I was or whatever. He let me in anyway. So I came back downstairs and Tretch was standing right there. And I'm like, what are you doing here? He was like, yo, I'm around the corner recording. And I see my boy Kokane. And Kokane was actually in the corner. He met Tretch. So he was outside taking a whiz and just see Tretch. He said, yo, is that Tretch? Wow. Lo and behold, Tretch, he just appeared in the video. I see a lot of people are asking in comments like, yo, why wasn't Tretch get a verse? I'm like, Tretch is not in the song. He's just in the video, It'd be dope if he get a verse, though.
Yeah.
Right.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. Yeah, man. So you
go ahead, Don.
I'm gonna go we gonna get an EP.
Say it again because you're breaking up.
Man, what's up?
We're gonna try to put together an EP. We're gonna try to put together an EP after, probably like, EP is like 6, 7, 8 songs. So we're gonna put something together before the end of this year and see what it do. At this point, when you get to a certain point in your career, especially in hip hop, the only thing you could do is just put stuff out and see if it catches on. You know what I mean? You're not trying to relive like the 80s or the 90s and shit. You just try to put some music out there for your fans at this point. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Well, Kokane texted me and said he was having his own problems, so just to go ahead and knock out the interview with you. So we're not going to be expecting him back.
Oh wow.
But that that sucks. But I mean, hey, we got Kool in the house, and man,
it's a hip hop legend right here, man.
To me, this is like I'm always geeked out whenever I could do an interview with this dude. Because. Like I said, I mean, the Fat Boys were part of my childhood and teenage years, and then, man, let me tell you something, man. When my dad gave me my first allowance, that was the first record I bought, man.
Yeah.
That and Houdini's Escape,
Escape, yeah.
Yeah, I went to Tower Records right down the street, plopped the money down, and got the 12-inch, with the albums, actually. And, man, I'd play the album, learn the songs. Go to school the next day, and me and my boy John would rap to each other the verses and do the beatboxing. And we do the Fat Boys, we do Roxanne, we do the Houdini songs, and man, and that's me, I'm 50, so that's going back a long time in my life,
Right.
That's just a wonderful memories that'll just stay with me until the end.
I think the first song I ever bought was Freedom by Flash and the Furious 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the first rap song I ever bought.
Don, what about you?
I didn't buy Rapper's Delight. I listened to it on the radio like every minute. I mean, that song was on the radio like every minute of the freaking day, so you didn't have to buy it.
Yeah.
But when Freedom came out, that summer of 1980, and oh wow, man, that song just blew me away.
Yeah.
I had older siblings that would buy the other albums like
that's what I was gonna say.
Flash, and all that stuff. But Fat Boys and Houdini was my money that I bought for me, myself, and I.
Yeah, my older brother was like a DJ, man. So I always had X Clan and all that stuff was always laying around.
Right.
Bang his records, Too Short, all that. I could get his stuff right. But the first stuff I bought, I think it was the Tupac joint, Strictly for My Niggas, man. I want to spend my allowance on that album, like buying this right here, you know what I mean? So it was like a different. It felt different when you bought it. It wasn't, couldn't nobody take my CD. It was my joint.
Right, exactly.
We got a youngster in the house.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Tupac. Yeah, that's going down. Well, Tupac would be like what, 47 if he were alive.
That was like 92. It was like 92, 93, something like that. Yeah. Stretch was on that album.
So he would be like, him and Big would be like maybe 48, 49 by now, right?
It'd be something like that. Yeah, they'd be close, like 40, 48, something like that.
But I'm talking about Don because I mean, Kool Rock is Grandmaster Flash. I'm Fat Boys. And
he goes all the way to Tupac. Like he skips everybody else. He skipped LL. He skipped Big Daddy Kane, Rakim, everybody.
I didn't have to buy those records. They was already
right.
Me.
Okay. Left them at the corner,
But I'll keep my youth. You know
what I mean? Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, that's cool,
I have a question for you. Going back to the Fat Boys. How did you feel when you saw rap changing from Fat Boys, to like Big Daddy Kane,
NWA and all that stuff?
Well, yeah, I mean, NWA, but even before that, it started changing with like Rakim, and it started changing with like KRS-One.
Well, it wasn't changing for us per se because we were still on top of the food chain, so to speak. So I put it like this. What Run DMC and Fat Boys and LL Cool J and Beastie Boys were doing on the surface, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, KRS-One, Public Enemy, they were keeping it held in the streets while we were keeping it held commercialized. You know what I mean? I think once LL made I Need Love, he became commercial.
Right.
Before that, it was all I'm Bad and everything like that. But once he became this mellow out dude, I think women started to gravitate to him more. He became more commercial. That's why I put his name in the commercial part of us. And I mean, Beastie Boys speak for themselves. They wasn't never going to be underground because they are who they are. But so we were still on top of the food chain doing our thing. We still had big tours going on, selling out 20,000 25,000 seats a night easily.
When did
still a lot of records. So it really didn't bother us. I think when NWA came out, that was a whole different element of hip hop that pretty much no East Coast rappers seen coming. So the hardest rappers we had at that time was Kool Rap. So just imagine Kool Rap compared to Ice Cube coming on the song saying straight out of Compton, crazy mother. There's no way Kool Rap would have rapped like that because that wasn't his thing. He'll say some little profound words here and there, little curse words here and there, but nothing to the effect of what NWA was doing. Mm-hmm. So I think when NWA came out, it took away a lot of the lyrical creativity of people like Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, Kool Rap, KRS-One. Public Enemy kind of stayed in that groove of NWA because they had that kind of sound, the same kind of sound. Well, the Bomb Squad did produce Ice Cube's first album. So they kind of was in the groove of what NWA was doing. Yeah. But not people like Run DMC and us and Houdini and LL. Nobody can get that hard.
Yeah.
Nobody can touch that at that time. The loud voices, the heavy, straight out of Compton, crazy mother. Nobody was rapping like that in the East Coast. And they wouldn't dare rap like that. So it was Slick Rick told his stories here and there, but it was nothing compared to
why do you think that is? Why do you think it was just like an evolutionary thing? Because in other interviews, I mean, Cube and NWA come from the stance like they was trying to kick down doors for freedom of speech and kind of saying things that they knew were culturally like taboo, not to touch or not to say publicly as aggressive as they were. Do you think that was kind of like people were being more reserved intentionally?
People being more reserved. Record companies were not. There was no way record companies would put that out in the East Coast at all. They wouldn't touch something like that. Like if you came in saying more than 4 curse words, they were like, "Oh no, we're not putting this out." So when NWA came out, they was touching upon the things that was happening in California at the time. The cops being abusive to them, and a lot of the things what they were talking about was happening to us on the East Coast, but we didn't put it on wax.
Yeah,
we just experienced it. Middle of the night, a cop pulls you out the car, checks your whole car, puts you back in the car, tell you to go home. You just talk about with your friends. You know what I'm saying? You didn't go and sing and sing a song called F the Police. First of all, companies wouldn't put it out. So they wasn't going to put that out.
They managed to find a West Coast company that was able to put it out.
Right.
You know what I mean? And someone out here. But yeah, Def Jam and all that stuff wouldn't touch that,
No, they wouldn't have touched that. There's no way they would have touched that. But I mean, and no disrespect to NWA, but a lot of East Coast listeners did not gravitate to Straight Outta Compton album. Mm-hmm. When I first heard the album, I first got it. I played it in the studio for Mark and Buff, and they were like, "Oh shit!" Like don't play that again. And it was a song where Ice Cube said she was scared and it was showing. We all said fuck you, bitch, and kept going. And they just everybody tripped out of that part. It was like, yo, they saying shit like that on records. So when I played it for people in my car, first thing cats was saying was like, yo, what's kind of country ass shit? They couldn't get with it at first. Like, country ass motherfuckers, like, because of the accent and all that stuff. And why they cursing like that? Yo, where they from? I'm like, he's from Cali. They're from Cali. Nah, man, I ain't feeling that. So a few people was feeling it, but a lot of East Coast listeners was not feeling that first album. It was not messing with it.
When I first heard that album, it wasn't even that one. It was the NWA and the Posse album that came out first.
Right.
And
what's called Hbo Homeboys Only, something like that.
Yeah, my brother brought it home from school. My older brother, and I was like probably in 10th grade at the time, and he put it on, and I heard "Dope Man" was the first song I heard.
Right.
And I was like, my mind was just blown because I'm here. This guy's like
Yeah.
talking about strawberry, suck my dick, And
Yeah, man. It
like,
was crazy. It's crazy,
I
man.
got to get my hands on this.
But I mean, I fell in love with it. I fell in love with A Bitch Is a Bitch. I fell in love with Gangster. I fell in love with these songs, and I was playing this stuff so much in my car. People started liking it. Yo, play that joint again. I mean, I definitely fell in love with Straight Outta Compton. That shit was just like, it was so powerful, And at the end, when Dre said, "Damn, that shit was dope," he made you feel that shit. You played it again, like, yeah, this shit is dope,
Let me ask you something.
So,
did you, Buffy, and Mark, yeah, Marky D, did you guys have a conversation about all this and be like, yo, times are changing, man?
No, not at all. Because what happened was we was drifting away from our record company and our management. So we came off this promotional tour overseas, and we had one more album to do for the record company, which was Polydor. Polydor was our distributor, and they needed us to do one more album. So we did that one more album. Our manager wanted nothing to do with the album. He wanted to separate himself from us because we was getting wise to the game and what was going on, getting wise to the money that was being taken, getting wise to different things. And I guess at this time we're like, we're growing into our 20s. We're like 19, 20, 21 years old. And so we're growing up now. We're growing up and we're no longer these kids anymore. So I guess he couldn't take advantage of us anymore. So we just put the album out and, let the chips fall where they may. We don't know to this day how many numbers that album did because we had left the record label. And so we kind of just, listen, we were burnt out, to be honest with you. We were just physically and mentally burnt out, touring, non-stop touring, non-stop. Yeah. You come home for 2 days, you go back out on another tour.
Wow.
So we're just touring. And we had no chance to be young. So we wanted to be young and have fun while we were still young. So once we took the hiatus and we left the record company and we disbanded from our management and from the record company, we were running around like chickens with our heads cut off. We was getting into all kinds of crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? We were hanging around some of the worst places you can find. Wow. People would look over like, "What are you doing over here?" Hey man, we're just young having fun. You in the wrong damn place to be young having fun, So, we was just having fun and just kicking back.
Bad boys go gangster.
I mean, we're from East New York, Brooklyn. We're from East New York, Brooklyn, so it wasn't hard to fit in to certain places. So, and East New York is one of the worst areas in New York at that time, and still to this day. But at that time, we were from one of the worst areas in New York. So it was easy for us to rap about what was going on in our neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? That's easy because we were right in the middle of it. So when I hear people like LL say stuff like, "Why would I want to rap about what's going on in the streets?" People want to hear good times. They want to hear positive stuff and people having fun. Nobody wants to relive just what they're going through in the streets and all the crime and all the crazy stuff going on. And I agree with him on that. A lot of the stuff, a lot of these guys was just doing this stuff for shock value. So after NWA came out, a lot of guys were just cursing because it was the thing to do. Sure. And it was shock value and it was selling. They had no message. Some of these guys had no kind of message. They was just cursing just to be cursing. You know what I'm saying? And talking about killing just to, just because it was shocking people.
Yeah.
So
people used to get shot in their records,
Yeah, man. 50 people get shot in one song, and it's like you're a serial killer all of a sudden. So it's like,
I have a comment here that was sent to me. A gentleman says, "I think Fat Boys Coming Back Hard Again is the closest you guys came to a hardcore album like NWA."
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go near that. I mean, listen, the thing is, why try to portray something you're not?
Right.
A lot of people, why not just be on the spectrum of what you can do? We never went down the lane of EPMD and LL Cool J and Rakim, those guys. They never went down our lane. Everybody had their own lane. That was good about 80s hip hop. Everybody created their own lane. When DMC had their lane, we had ours. Houdini had theirs, so on and so on. When Public Enemy came out, they created their own lane. So nobody was trying to be like the next person or sound like the next person.
Yeah.
I mean, you had those who was given demo tapes, and you listen to demo tapes, you're like, hey, this sounds like LL. This sounds like Run DMC. This sounds like us. I mean, so, but I'm talking about people who were selling records and making noise in the industry. They weren't trying to be like somebody else. Yeah. They weren't trying to bite lyrics. They weren't trying to bite beats. You know, nothing like that.
Yeah.
I mean, nowadays, if somebody come out with something hot, everybody gravitates to it, and until it just drowns out, and they go to the next one. You know, but back then there was none of that.
Yeah. I got a couple more questions, and then we'll go ahead and let you go. When did you know? I mean, you guys' breakup was so popularized in Boomerang.
Was it?
You know what I mean?
Fat Boys breakup.
Yeah. I mean, that like became a classic line, you know, to this day. You
right.
know, for repeat. When did you guys know it was over and be like, you know what, we're done with this? You know.
I would say right after the tour. You know, after the tour, pretty much it wasn't even a breakup. It was kind of like I'm tired of seeing your face every day kind of thing.
Damn, like that?
Yeah, because we see each other every day. So we're the best of friends, but it was like, dude, I seen you every day of my life since I was 13.
Yeah.
I need a break from you. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, so Mark went his way, Buff went his way, and I went my way. Buff came back and said, yo, D, you want to do an album? I mean, you want to do a song? We got some money from some Japanese guys, some investors wanted to invest some money into a project. And he comes to my house with like $175,000 in cash money. I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, give me the mic.
I hope the IRS ain't hearing that, but I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. Whatever. So, see, the thing is, we were structured. Our lives were structured. So you get up in the morning, you got like 10 interviews you do, 5 radio, 5 TV. And this is every day of your life. So everything was catered to you. Your flights, your rooms at the hotels, your per diem. So it's kind of like you ironing out your clothes and putting them on your bed. That's how they were treating us. Like everything was ironed out for us. So after a while, you don't even know how to write your own check in a checkbook. Because nobody's teaching you anything. They're just giving you anything that you want and taking care of everything for you. So when the smoke clears, you're like, damn, I don't know how to write a check. I don't know how to balance a budget. You know what I'm saying? Because they take care of all that stuff for you. Yeah. So when it was pretty much over for us, as far as us disconnecting from our record label and our management, it was kind of a sigh of relief. Like, yo, I don't have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning anymore and go to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning because we got so much stuff to do. Because it became a job after a while. That's what people don't understand in the music industry. This becomes a job after a while. In order for the people that supports you to make money, you have to make money. You understand what I'm saying? So it becomes a job. It's no longer 5-star hotels hanging out at clubs at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, 6 or 10 groupies at a time. It becomes a freaking job. And whether people want to think these guys are showing off money all the time and being happy, a lot of these guys is like, mentally they're effed up because there's so much demand on them. You understand? So I understand where some of them are coming from with showing off all this money. I'm like, dude, that's advance money. You know what I'm saying? You ain't fooling nobody with these bands around, $150. You ain't getting no money. This is advance money, dog. So you got to let people know what it really is in this industry before they get into it. You understand? So
on tour, you mentioned the tour. Did you guys put away the groupies like that or what?
Me, I was into my sports, man. So I would just go back to the hotel and catch up on who was winning I'm a huge college football fan. So I would watch my college football, and Sundays when we didn't have shows, I watch my NFL. I wasn't into that kind of groupie stuff. I've seen some stuff go down that's pretty much XXX rated, but I ain't gonna talk about it. Some of these guys were like freaking, porn stars. But before porn became really big, some of these guys is crazy. I don't know who was more crazy, the guys doing the acts or the girls doing the acts. So,
wow.
But it was crazy.
Last question. If Buffy and Mark were still alive, rest in peace, God rest their souls, do you think you guys would be recording today still?
I think Buff would have us in the studio. I think Buff would be like, yo, let's do something, or, Buff was becoming a really, really good producer. And because he was musically inclined. So it wasn't hard for him to just go inside the studio and just do beats and stuff like that. So I would think Buff at this time, if he was alive, he would be maybe top 10 producer. Honestly. Yeah, he would be top 10.
Wow.
Buff was getting better and better at his producing. So he would be top 10.
I can believe that because, hey, he knew the beats. You can make it mouth.
Oh, yeah.
So all you had to do is translate.
Very musically inclined. He knew his music. He knew his sounds. He knew what people liked. And he had a lot of artists coming to him. A lot of artists was coming to him. And yeah, he would have definitely been like top 10 producer right now. Easily. Yeah.
That's a bar right there.
That's heavy to know, yeah. That's
Yeah.
That's a bar right there.
Don, he was getting that good.
Or are you good, brother?
I'm good, man. It's just an honor and a pleasure, man. I'm happy to see you back out there, man. It gives me a certain nostalgic vibe just to see you on video and see you on the hear you on records. I just I encourage all the OGs to keep going, man. I think our genre is the only one that kind of tries to put an age limit on it. I'm watching these rock and roll dudes die on stage during concerts, literally. Yeah. And it's something to be said about something that you love and have a passion for, man. If you still got a passion for it, man, I think your voice needs to be heard out here, man. These kids need to see that balance, you know what I mean? And,
definitely.
The quieter that the OGs are, the more out of balance I feel like hip hop is getting because it goes to the next extreme. It goes wild, wild. And I'm not saying there's not a market for that. What I'm saying is the kids that's really consumers and ain't really rappers, they just watching the game, right? So like they might want to check something out, like, oh, this dude was rapping since the 80s. What he talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is he still going? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a for that too, man. So I just try to encourage the elders, man, to keep going if they got a passion for it. Because
there's a market for everything, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So even watching Busta Rhymes' album last year, Busta Rhymes' No Spring Chicken. Right. And just to see him have a dope classic album, even Nas coming back out with
back to back
number one. Yeah. So why not, just keep, if you're doing what you love, just keep doing it.
Yeah.
There's no age limit on music, period. You know what I'm saying?
And I think we need a Fat Boy story, man.
We got to get the Fat Boy story.
We need a Fat Boy story.
Yeah, we're gonna put together the documentary.
Netflix, whatever.
Yeah, we're trying to shop it to Netflix or Hulu for the documentary for the Fat Boys Disco 3 story, and but we'll definitely try to get that Fresh Festival first hip hop tour.
Yeah, even a book, man. Something just like what. I know we're not hearing everything. You know what I mean? I know there's a whole lot of shit.
Oh yeah, there's a whole lot of crazy stuff.
That, you know what I mean? And the world should know.
Right. Definitely.
All right, brother. Well, thank you for your time. West Coast Styles, once again, it's on. Man, and I know we'll do it again. And Kokane, brother, I'm sorry, man. It's been wonderful to have you with us. Hey,
Kokane got to get rid of that flip phone.
Yeah, he up there in the mountains up in Seattle, man.
I know, exactly.
Hey, shout out to the OG, man.
Shout out to Kokane,
Instagram, man. We're gonna keep it going. Anyway, we can support. We're gonna do that.
No doubt, man.
All right, now.
Peace out, man.
All right, man. Peace out. Have a wonderful evening.
You too, man.
All right.
All right, now.